many times over the years that your goal is for this to have fun with this group and to really enjoy what you guys do. How do you do that with the intensity of the caliber of open drivers and how much more difficult it may be to make this race this year?
Yeah, I think that's what makes it fun. I like it better this year than I did last year with only two going home. Obviously, the chances of us making it are a lot less, but the fun trying to make it will be a lot more no matter what. So I have a completely different outlook than even my crew chief. He's like, man, these people keep adding in. There's more cars and more cars. And I'm like, dude, it'll be more fun. Trust me. We like chaotic, and now the duels will be a lot more chaotic than normal. So we're very much looking forward to that.
And it'll mean more if you get in that way too.
Yeah, I mean, so I've been able to race with Jimmy and Martin a lot, but it's still cool anytime you get to share the track with them. And Helio, I know he's new to a Cup car, but I've always been a fan of his racing and the things he's accomplished. So to share the track with him will be awesome. And then all the other guys are my friends, people I've raced with, and just honestly, just enjoy the chance to get out there and try to be one of the top two.
What races do you guys have planned, if any, beyond the 500 for this year?
Yeah, so Atlanta, I think it's next weekend, and then so both Atlantas, both Talladegas, both Daytonas, the Coca-Cola 600, I believe it'll be. We're going to do that, and then just go from there. We don't have any plans to do any more right now. That's the only thing I'm looking at, but definitely, know after last year, getting to do the part-time schedule that I enjoy it, and I enjoy the Cup car, even though races we would add past those races, we're obviously going there to probably compete for last or next to last. But on speed, I mean, obviously with attrition, you finish better than that sometimes. But realistic speed, we're going to be close to last at any track other than a speedway type track. And I think that I've learned that driving a next gen car is fun enough that I'm willing to work and try to get better to keep going to those tracks, and that I do enjoy even that challenge.
Well, and you built, I think, one hell of a fan base. I think was it last fall at Talladega where they pushed you to the lead and you led a couple laps?
It was actually the first race there. Yeah, we just cruising, just trying to figure out how fast we were, and it was about the fuel mileage stuff started for most people around lap 6. There were still some people running wide open. We went back and looked at SMT. So, I mean, it was legitimate that we got up there. We got up there, obviously, partially because of fuel strategy, but, the car was quick enough to do it, and that's what we wanted to know, right? And, it was pretty cool getting up there, and, getting the fans that I've had have always been really loyal to me, and it was cool to get them a couple laps led with the 78 and the all-black car. It was just, it was a neat experience, but, we were doing it more for information to try to see where we would be at. And at that point, we didn't have help with, any kind of pit road system like the key partner teams have, and we ended up running out of fuel. So we got that sorted out, for the races after that. We didn't have any more issues, but thankfully I was able to get out of the way and not tear up any cars when that did happen.
What do you do with all this additional downtime that you have now?
So the additional downtime, we've been building, trying to increase get to where we can increase the funding for the racing, because we only have a certain amount that we can spend and not ultimately, put ourselves in trouble. So we have a set amount that we spend on racing each year, and that's what Jessica and I have agreed to, and, that's what we're doing. And with all the spare time, we're trying to make more money. We have a decent amount of capital to invest and do different things, with the businesses we've done over the years and real estate and different things. So we're trying to build up that income. And, one thing we're doing is a mountain coaster and alpine coaster in Pigeon Forge, right? So very thankful to be doing that in that town. It's a special place. I don't know if you've been there lately, but they have so much to offer between Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and Sevierville. It's really a cool tourist town, and a very awesome, just hometown too. We bought a cabin over there. We bought a cabin with 11 acres, I think it is, and it's just a cool place to go spend time with the family. And we thought, let's get into the amusement sector and try to do something different than we've ever done. And I had a friend over there that's done a lot of stuff in town, and he owns a go-kart track and putt-putt. He owns another coaster, and we reached out to him and said, hey, if you're willing to do something, we'd be interested in it. And he called and he's like, I want to do a racing coaster, and by the way, it'll be the first one ever. And I was like, that sounds good to me. So we literally got the idea pitched to us for the coaster probably at 5 o'clock on, let's say, a Tuesday, and we committed at 9 o'clock on Wednesday that we were going to do it. And obviously it was a big deal, but it's right on the parkway. It's going to put a lot of smiles on people's faces, and we're looking forward to that venture. And just trying to build different things that we've not always been into, but just working towards building up our businesses.
So is this races this year?
I don't know. What I like about my life now is I still own 2 Junior Motorsports cars. I may sell them, I may keep them. Still own, I don't know, a lot of Roush cars, let's put it that way. With the people we have and the equipment we have, we could say, hey, we want to go race in 3 weeks, and we could legitimately do it and probably put together a top 20 effort out of our shop, right off the bat. So I'm not crossing out running Xfinity races, just not on my mind right now. So I may wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to the racetrack, and that happened. But right now, it's not in the plans.
So is this just a labor of love coming out here because it's the 500? Is it?
No, it's a passion, man. Like this is the 500, dude. It's 2.5 hours from my hometown, and I raced New Smyrna 1,000 times if I raced it once, and it's right down the road. And it was always a dream. I'd leave New Smyrna and come eat at Wing House or Hooters or something, and be looking at Daytona and be like, man, I wish I could race there. And guess what? Now I've run 5 500s and I don't know how many 400s, and I missed the race last year, and its chances are very low that we'll make it this year, but I don't care, dude. Like, I enjoy it, have fun, and any chance to be on Daytona is a blast. It's an honor, and that's why we're here.
Truex wasn't too thrilled that Elio has that guaranteed spot. What are your thoughts on that rule?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for us, it makes it easier for us to get in the race, because if they don't qualify in on time, if I own that car, I'd say, hey, take the provisional, because the pay is less than the cost of the car, right? So he really has no reason to race in. So from a standpoint of trying to make the race, my opinion, it would be like, okay, it kind of helped us, but I don't like it. I mean, bottom line, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't agree with that. I think this is the Cup Series. I think whoever you are, you should have to earn your way in. And realistically, if you're not fast enough to get in the race, why would you even want to race, right? So I don't agree with it at all. But that's what we're allowed to say what we think, and see what happens. So it's something that I feel like. I think my biggest thing was, Jimmy don't have it, Martin don't have it, they both should have it, right? So, it is what it is. Like a couple of them have said, we don't make the rules, right? We just, abide by them. And I, I'm a huge fan of NASCAR, love everything they do, but I think in this particular situation, definitely not a fan of that.
And what will your strategy be in the duels? Are you going to try to get up there to the front, hang back, let them crash out? What do you think?
I think that would be the smart, disciplined thing to do. But what I've learned with speedway racing, with the experience I have, is you can come up with all the plans you want. And then when the green drops and you look out your front window, that's when you truly learn the mindset of the other drivers for that particular race on that particular day. And until you see that, you don't know what you should do. So these drivers are the best drivers in the world at driving stock cars. And when you get out there in a Cup Series, you see that. And if it's a night that they choose to be a little wild, say, hey, we're going to mix it up and have some fun, maybe you shouldn't be in the middle of it, right? But you know what? Maybe I just want to have a good time too, and I might go. So I think for me, I used to think about the strategy a lot, and 3 years ago, I just quit. And I'm like, you know what? I got enough seat time with these things. I can look out the front window and tell what everybody's up to and make my decision there. So I won't make my decision until the green drops.
Thank you. They're stacked against us right from the get-go, but once you get out there with the pack and the drafting, these cars pull up. They do react a lot easier than the old style Gen 6 cars, to where there was a lot more emphasis put the bodies into where the cars sucked up. So I realized that no matter what, before we leave tonight, that there's going to be 2 spots completely taken, and having a shot at one of those 2 spots is probably slim to none. That we're going to go out and have to execute to the fullest tomorrow. That means I have to do a perfect job. Everyone's going to have to do a perfect job, including the pit crew. There's always one stop that has to happen. A lot can happen in that one stop. So, there's a lot of odds as to, is the first one going to be better than the second one? Is it going to change the way the race is played and the way those guys drive? So, we're just going to have to wait and see how that stacks up, because there's going to be 5 guys in one and 4 in the other, and, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
You mentioned earlier that this team does have a second car now. So are you the guy? Are we going to see you back in this 44 car more this year?
That's the intent. They do have a few other races already sold. They have some that they're currently working on. Again, with their partnership with Chevrolet, and a little bit of that comes through Hendrick Motorsports. It gives me a lot of confidence to, try to build with them as they continue to grow as a small team. So we'll just have to wait and see. But, yeah, definitely the plan is to try to run some more this year.
Do you know what other races they've already sold?
Right now there's a handful. Obviously we'll probably keep it more to the speedways and the mile and a halves. Obviously having 2 cars makes it a little bit easier to do. From a scheduling standpoint, trying to run 1 to 2 races a month makes the most sense. But unfortunately, some of the races don't pay spectacular. Obviously a lot of that will come down to sponsorship. So, the schedule is not complete yet, but that's kind of the goal for what we're going to do.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Frontstretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Frontstretch fans can use promo code Frontstretch to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay, stay rewarded.
Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos. And if you like us, make sure to hit that subscribe button.